Hi, Joel.
Hi, William.
Hi, nice to meet you. When did you first time to know Huawei Cloud?
Well, I've known about Huawei for a long time, of course, and I would guess like 3 years ago or so, I heard about Huawei Cloud.
Oh, this is 3 years. I think that it's a long time. We have globally we have over 27 regions and covered about 17 line AZs, covered more than 170 countries. And now Huawei Cloud is one of top 5 cloud providers. In the September, we have launched a white paper, Striding Towards Intelligent World. And in these white papers, we have talked about the trends of the cloud technology, cloud market, and also show some Huawei's insight, Huawei's thoughts about cloud. And I believe you have read these white papers. Do you have some comment or your thoughts about the white papers?
I do. So first of all, it's a very comprehensive white paper. What I liked about it is it's almost like the cloud computing encyclopedia in a way, because it has so much information in it, including frameworks for things like security and machine learning and application modernization. And moreover, what it does that I really liked is that it starts in each section with some trends and issues and concerns. It also includes practical, not just suggestions, but detailed recommendations as to how to think about the problems and what the essential elements are to actually fix them or take advantage of them.
We think that the cloud will be the digital foundation. We believe that also this kind of technology is not just for the we say for some kind like internet business, but also for the verticals like the transportation, energy, even for the public affairs. We think that through this kind of cloud foundation, every verticals, every enterprise, since they can get the latest technology from this kind of cloud platform. This can help them to accelerate the process to do this kind of digital transformation. That's why we have this kind of white paper, or why have these white papers to show what's the technology trends, how to use the cloud for them.
Yeah, no, I agree that that's absolutely essential. You've got to look at it as, using cloud for insurance against, major issues in terms of volatility, or uncertainty or demand spikes, or however you want to describe it, but also, that it can be a matter of survival, because, how many newspapers have gone out of business because they didn't realize that digital technology was a not only cheaper, but also better, more flexible substitute for their core business. I'm sure you've seen examples where companies, your customers either in China or around the world, have had opportunities and or problems if they didn't correctly apply those. You must have some examples, right?
I would like to show examples. If the scientists want to find new medicine, how to do the treatment for the new virus, it's very difficult. So if they want to find this kind of a new medicine, normally now we said it's a lead compound medicine. For this kind of lead compound medicine, you need to find the candidate medicine. But this candidate medicine, normally, in most cases, it not exist in the world, in natural world. So you need to find a new medicine. Find a new medicine is very difficult, and based on our this kind of AI pre-trained mode, they can learn all the existed medicine molecular this kind of molecular structure is about 1.7 billion. So use AI to learn it, and then the AI learn the behavior, learn the structure, these details of the 1.7 billion. They can new build candidate medicine database, and in this candidate medicine database, all the medicine is the new medicine, all the molecule is new. So when the scientists they want to find the new medicine, they can just use the AI through this kind of database from this kind of candidate basis and do this kind of test. You can see this process will help the scientists to quick accelerate from 1.7 billion. Some scientists they use the AI pre-trained mode to reduce their process from several years to several months. I think this kind of cloud technology, they have disruptive technology, they can change something.
There's so much in like the last few statements that we could probably spend a day talking about it. First of all, it's a great use case for scalable cloud resources to begin with. So being able to rent resources for a short amount of time is fantastic for these kinds of research and development, discovery, innovation types of processes, as well as peaks in normal day-to-day operations. The second thing that computing technology is becoming so advanced, together with tools available in terms of machine learning, that we're able to do those kinds of analysis and 3D models for protein folding or molecular dynamics, and that's something just amazing, right?
If the technology combined with the knowledge, some new things, some creative things will be happen.
Basically, if you look at what enterprises are trying to do, whether they're business to business or business to consumer, there are many similarities across verticals or sub-verticals, right? If you delve down into each industry, obviously there are lots of different challenges. You kind of have to have both all the common things in terms of physical infrastructure, flexibility, scalability, and you also need to have knowledge across different verticals, and not just knowledge, but also compliance.
For cloud provider point of view, what we want to do is that we will put everything as a service to make our customers to use the technology as easy, as simple as possible. We have over 100,000 R&D engineers, and every year we put a lot of investment for the R&D. So we try to use the cloud platform to open this kind of technology skill to our customers. And what we said is like the infrastructure as a service, technology as a service. We try to open it. What we believe that we cannot just say technology as a service, but must like expertise as a service. So not only just put Huawei's expertise, Huawei's technology, also put our customer, our partners, their best practice put on the cloud platform, and also through this kind of cloud platform, our customers they can learn some best practice. We believe that have a good, healthy, and sustainable, and this kind of cloud ecosystem. Joy, I also read your book about cloudonomics. I think you different like other leaders in these areas. You not only just mentioned the cloud itself, but you also mentioned like the network, latency, scale. So why you think this one is important? And do you have some kind of a suggestion to Huawei?
There's obviously lots of small companies that have innovative technologies that then maybe can be factored into something and can be very useful, and maybe they'll be acquired by the larger company. To my mind, what's interesting to me about Huawei is that I don't think there's any analogs that both manufacture handsets, right, all the way up to run cloud services, and provide the vertical industry expertise. Obviously, there are many very capable companies that started in the cloud or have evolved to the cloud. And one of the things that I think is really interesting about you, just from a competitive strategy perspective, is that you are what we would call one-stop shopping for this broad range of solutions that are required to create a complex architecture.
I agree that this cloud is complex and comprehensive. This network is very complicated. So if cloud providers want to provide a good, best cloud service, must have this kind of very deep understanding, not only about the software, but also about the hardware, the OS, and also from the server storage network. You must have this comprehensive understanding as experience for all these areas. Then you can have the best experience to the customers. And I also want to emphasize that that's why for Huawei now, for us, not just like the R&D engineers from Huawei Cloud, but the R&D engineers from the Huawei to together to build this kind of cloud platform. If cloud providers and they want to provide this kind of extreme experience to the customer, definitely it's not easy job. They must have what we say that the experience for both cloud, network, edge, and the terminals.
As an enterprise customer, you just want one partner, ideally, that can bring together tested components, has experience in the industry, and basically makes life simple and low risk too.
I want to share a real case that it's in last year in Singapore for the digital bank. The bank, they have a very strict requirement about reliability. So if they use the traditional way, at least they will find 3 data centers to do the redundancy. And based on the data centers, they will buy a lot of hardware and firewall systems, software systems. If they buy all the things, they will take more than 2 or 3 years. But they just use the cloud. They don't need to build the data centers. They don't need to build the security systems, and they don't need to build their own software systems. They just use cloud service. Just 11 months to build the whole systems to run their service. Now it's open. So what do you think that for digital transformation or use cloud, what kind of main challenge for them?
We have to talk about digital transformation as a concept. And in some cases, patching an operating system, they call digital transformation. In other cases, they say building a mobile app, that's digital transformation. And, to an extent, those all are. But to me, where it gets really exciting is when there's a comprehensive transformation that begins with the customer experience and a strategic orientation towards that experience. We're going to rethink the way that digital technologies and mobile technologies may enable an entirely new approach. Actually, the example you gave earlier of kind of scientific discovery in the medical field is a good example of that. We want to either make the change easy for the customer, the employees, the partners, and or create enough value in that transformation that it's worth it. People move to do things, digitally, but if it doesn't add any value, then it's a waste of time and money. To me, it really digital transformation begins not with digital, it begins with transformation.
I can't agree with you anymore. Yeah? In these years, we met a case, it's a coal mine. When the people want to find the coal, they must go underground about 200 or 300 meters beneath the ground. they want to find a new way that try to reduce the people from the underground. They can make the operations from the ground to do the remote control, remote management. But when they talk with Huawei, they want to introduce some AI technology to help them. So if you want to do the remote control, you must have something to find what happened on the ground. This needs the AI technology. But the problem is that from Huawei side, we know AI, but we didn't know the operation process. We do not know the machine for the coal mine. And the expert for the coal mine company, they know all the things from themselves. We think that for the cloud providers point of view, we need to find a way to help our customers to use the AI technology, to use some of the new technology. For the AI pipelines, the software development pipelines, the digital content pipelines, the data governance pipelines, to help our customers try to reduce the gap of technology and try to reduce the gap of technology to help to them to use it. I think this is very important. I also believe that now the cloud, the areas, if we want to accelerate the digital transformation, help our customers to successful, we must reduce the gap.
Yeah, no, your point is well taken. You have the need, which includes the customer journey, there are internal processes, exactly like the right thing is bring them together so you partner to leverage the expertise and the knowledge and the creativity, where it exists. And, certainly being able to craft packages of solution elements that can be recombined across different customers within an industry or across industries, is a way to also reduce the cost while accelerating the pace of innovation.
And you also mentioned a very interesting case. You have compared that put money in your house or put money in the bank. Which one is much safe?
When we talk about safety, you've got to think about what are the different threat vectors. And in many cases, a cloud provider is going to do a lot better, certainly than a small or medium enterprise.
Somehow, on one hand, you need to have a good technology, good product to guarantee security. On the other hand, we always said that the security, 30% is for the construction of good security systems, and other 70% is for the security operation. So you need just a lot of this kind of security attack, like DDoS, this kind of attack, and this kind of things is a dynamic. In your security systems, you must have a good policy, good dynamical plan to try to find the good solutions to handle all kinds of security attacks to guarantee the system's reliability. So I think maybe in the future, more and more our customers will be confident and comfortable to use the cloud service.
Go back to the bank analogy, it doesn't help to have guards if the walls are made of paper. Security architecture in place in terms of the physical hardware, the firewall settings, a zero trust architecture, honeypots, encryption, whatever it may be. Then also you need to have the best practices which evolve every second, right? With zero-day threats, people find new things, and they need to be patched as quickly as possible based on machine learning and based on the scale to detect anomalies, and then the ability to deter and or block threats from happening. So I agree with you. It's very complex, and there's many dimensions that are both physical and operational and human involved.
You also mentioned about application modernization. What's your ideas, Net? What's the relationship between the application modernization and the digital transformation?
That's, real digital transformation, not applying a patch or, updating to the latest version of an OS or something like that. But real transformation, you have to rethink the application architecture.
We know that for digital technology, digital transformation, which vertical use this kind of technology the most? It should be the internet. It doesn't matter if it's a social network or gaming or online purchasement. Their applications, they can launch their new version every day, new function every minute, every second. Like you said, microservice, container, this kind of new structure to help them to build agile and flexible software architecture to make their application more flexible, time to the market more fast. I think this is the key. And at the same time, that since we need to try to help our developers to coding more faster, more easy. That's why I think for the application modernization, they also need build capability for the low code and the no code, this kind of process for them to help. Maybe one day everyone will be the developers.
Flexibility and agility is very different, obviously, than the traditional approaches, the waterfall development model.
When you first make the word cloudomics, you have to do a lot of forecast or definition about cloud. So if considering the next 10 years, do we have this kind of insight or forecast?
I predicted the rise of the edge. The cloud, in the extended sense of cloud plus edge plus device, it should be completely autonomic and able to determine what it needs to do. With things like, AI and federated AI or federated machine learning, you want to be able to do more and more at the edge, but you also need to do a lot in the cloud because that's where you have massive data sets. That's where you may have very complex applications that are all working together that don't belong in an underpowered device at the edge.
When the first time the cloud, this word emerged, they have one example said the cloud must be like the electricity. Yeah, I think for last 10 years, in somehow we have already realized it. I think in the next 10 years, we still need everyone. It doesn't matter is old or young. It doesn't matter in which country, is in which region. They can use the cloud service very easy. They can use all the technology from the cloud. I hope that this will be happen. That cloud should be the foundation of the digital transformation for the intelligent world. The most important thing is that we try to help all the people, all the enterprise, all the countries to use the cloud easy and simply. I think this will definitely happen. The cloud and the intelligence will ubiquitous all of the regions.
There's a straightforward construct, right? Which is there's competition all over the world, regardless of what industry you're in, and then from there, it's not just digital, but digital is obviously a critically important part of rethinking your approach to a marketplace, and then being able to, leverage your existing infrastructure and tools and modify it on an agile basis with a whole, DevSecOps type of approach that.
I think that in one day that cloud is as important as the water, as the utility, as the electricity, and also use the cloud is as simple as use the water, use the electricity. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're very much aligned, William. So it's a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Yeah.